I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
Do me a favor and try to follow our sponsor on Instagram. That's cosigning or cosigning underscore on Instagram, or www.cosigning.com. We're gonna go ahead and play a little video. Apparently, there's a lot of hoorah going around saying that perhaps Michelle Obama and Barack are getting a divorce. Not sure of that, but she or he has not been at the inauguration, nor did they attend the funeral for Jimmy Carter, breaking two norms that typically the spouse of a former president would normally attend. So let's go ahead and look at the first story.
In the meantime, though, we are getting some reporting about who's going to be there and who's not going to be there. The Associated Press reporting this about former First Lady Michelle Obama, saying she will skip the inauguration of President-elect Trump, the second time in 2 weeks that she is not attending the gathering of former U.S. leaders and their spouses. But they report former Presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton will be there. Also, Laura Bush.
Look at the size difference between this woman and this person. This is a regular woman, and this is Brittany Griner. It's a big difference in size, and I don't think that's why they really don't want her to be paired next to other women, because you'll notice a huge difference between an actual woman and a new woman.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will join their husbands for the swearing.
I mean, she's basically WNBA compared to a normal average-sized woman.
In ceremony at the Capitol. So, a statement from the office of Barack and Michelle Obama that was shared with the Associated Press goes as follows, quote, former President Barack Obama is confirmed to attend the 60th inaugural ceremonies. Former First Lady Michelle Obama will not be attending there, according to the statement. So wanted to get that in there as well. But the Associated Press got this reporting just today, saying Michelle Obama will not attend the upcoming inauguration. Now, remember, no explanation was given for why she's skipping Trump's inauguration. She also, remember, did not attend former President Jimmy Carter's state funeral in Washington last week. Former Presidents Trump, Obama, Bush, and Clinton and their spouses attended, except for her. So in the meantime, though, we do have some more reporting. I want to put this tweet up from Jarrett Renshaw there at Reuters. He's confirming some other high-profile figures who will be in attendance at the inauguration, some of the tech titans.
Well, that we don't really, we'll talk about that another time. About this whole situation with Michelle Obama, I'm not buying it. Just not buying it. The fact that they're saying she's not going to show up because she's mad at Trump or doesn't like Trump, I don't think that's it. In my personal assessment of the whole situation, let's say the rumors are true. I mean, why wouldn't they be true? Has the whole world, according to the media, not turned trans in the last few years? This is a woman who exhibits traits of a man. In the year 2025, it's a huge difference from 2015. Now, we're reporting 30% of children are now thinking that they are trans or non-binary. Where did this all come from? And the question is, now that it's 2025, if you found out that Michelle was born biologically a male, would you care? Personally, I would. I don't like people deceiving me. I don't like people playing with my intelligence. I don't like liars. So the real reason I think that Michelle will not be showing up is because, and this is another thing also, I wouldn't be surprised if they spin a narrative saying that she's sick. Something's wrong, and that's why she's no longer doing public appearances. I'll show you why she's no longer doing public appearances. Let's look at her last appearance in public, shall we? What do you think our president, our beloved president Donald Trump, what do you think he's going to say when this person, this man, comes and sits next to him trying to pretend they're still a woman?
Beautiful.
It's no matter how much movie magic that you can apply, no matter how much makeup, lighting, how much contouring, and how much estrogen, the older you get as a man, the less effective those tactics will be. The estrogen injections to make you appear more feminine and express feminine traits, eventually the man inside you will win the genetic battle. Typically, when that happens, and you can no longer, and these trans people can no longer manipulate people into believing that they're a woman, that's typically when they self-delete. This one, in my opinion, has purpose. So they have not taken it to that extreme yet. But there's no such thing as a senior citizen that's trans. They don't make it that far. It is a very sad and lonely lifestyle. That's why many of them are angry and bitter, as you can see when you saw the one that was talking about how she couldn't carry your husband out of a fire. Maybe he shouldn't have been in the fire. They're very upset. They're very angry people. And they have a chip on their shoulder against straight people, conservatives, people that have children, people who live regular lives. When this thing shows up to the inauguration or would have shown up to the funeral with all those cameras, it's going to be almost impossible to hide the fact that you were born a different gender. This is only from September. The estrogen is wearing off. It's not going to make you, your Big Mike is coming home. So if they say that she's sick and she has a turbo cancer or something like that, and that's why she's no longer here, don't be surprised. She likely self-deleted, because now you can't go out in public or people are going to know your true identity. This is why no more public appearances. You can't show up to the funeral or the inauguration. It's not because she hates Trump. It's not because she hates what Trump stands for. It's not because she's going high and they're going low. It's because she's not able to pull off tricking people into thinking she's a woman anymore.
We got a few books signed.
The first book that she signed, what was the name of that first book? Becoming. What the fuck is a grown woman writing a book and naming it Becoming when there's rumors about her gender identity floating around? Also, this was also another troubling thing about Michelle. Let's see here. This never sat right with me. If you don't know, this is the NBA star Dwayne Wade's son, who they are pretending is a daughter, is a girl. This is a mentally ill boy who is being abused as well mentally, possibly physically, especially by now. They want this boy to remove his testicles, never reproduce, and once he figures this out and he gets into his 20s, he will also be on that potential self-delete list. They never make it really past the age of 34. Why is a woman, allegedly a woman, talking to a mentally ill trans kid about becoming and changing their gender?
Fine. And yes, so I wanted to ask you, what advice do you have for teens who want to be themselves and thrive like you have and currently are?
What do you mean? What advice you have for teens that are? Wait, say that again. Let's rewind it.
And currently are.
It's a very strange question for a woman from a mentally ill trans kid.
What advice do you have for teens who want to be themselves and thrive like you have and currently are?
What advice do you have for teens that want to be themselves and thrive the way you have and currently are? Does everybody know something that we don't? Is everybody seeing something that we're in denial about? Why is the former first lady, why is she talking to Dwayne Wade's mentally ill son that they're trying to pass off as just a giant woman? Why? What do they have in common?
Well, like currently, you know, I'm just so proud of you, you know, being just an amazing role model and embracing your truth, right?
Zaya Wade is what they're calling Dwayne Wade's son, was thrilled to meet her idol, Michelle Obama, in online Q&A. It's very hard to convince me that this is a natural born woman. And I think because of the topic here, they did not alter the picture, and they wanted you to be able to tell that this also is a man in the same position as D Wade's son going through a transition. Those are not their kids, by the way. The daughters know it. The daughters have changed their last name. They're no longer Obamas. They don't show up in public anymore with them. This isn't just, well, they want to just have their own identity and not people know who they are. They're the most famous first kids in the world. Everyone knows who they are. There's no outrunning that. But they've distanced themselves away from their former parents. And, you know, TikTok is going to tell you a lot. I see why they want to ban it.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure?
So allegedly, these are the kids' real parents who were also, ironically, the doctors who delivered them, apparently, for the Obamas. Apparently, these are two doctors who delivered the kids for the Obamas. But for some reason, these kids look identical to the two doctors, and they look nothing like the Obamas. Barack Obama is an openly gay, the gay first president. There have been people that have testified that they've had sex with him, and before Congress, this all came out. He's our first gay president. These children, in my opinion, are not Barack and Michelle's. Again, why did she make a book called Becoming what?
Book signed. Somebody inspired.
That's a big ass old man.
That's right.
Have you guys seen any trans people lately? I've seen some on television that I was like, Jesus Christ, you can't tell anymore. And then the younger they start taking the hormones, it's you know, they once you take puberty blockers and you're a kid, you develop a micro penis, but also your Adam's apple never develops. It stunts your growth. But if you don't, you're still going to have the big hands. You're still going to have certain traits of a man, but you're just going to have to cover it up. And it's a daily ritual with makeup, hair extensions, and constant injections of estrogen to overthrow the balance of testosterone and estrogen in your body so that you will present more female. From what I can tell, this is what Michelle or Mike is going through.
I don't know
And again, this is September. This is her last public appearance.
It can be intimidating. I think that people should always ask about
Look at these two fucking women compared to Mike. Look at Kamala Harris, who no one, look at Kamala Harris compared to Mike. She has to wear flats because she's also bigger than Barack.
if you don't know Questlove. He's the sweetest human being. This seems like a good one. Give some shout out to Questlove. You know, I love you. All right.
I've seen this appears now to just be a drag queen. This appears now to be a drag queen, and this is why there's he will be a no-show to the inauguration. It was a no-show to the funeral. That's how ineffective the hormone treatments are now, based on her age and probably her medical condition. Your bone density takes a hit. There's a lot of different things that go on inside your body. This whole giving people medication to change their appearance to appear to be a different gender, this is all new technology. So no one really knows. So what she's doing is she's an experiment. They're experimenting on her. This stuff started in the 90s. So there's not tons of data on it. No one knows how it ends. But what we do know is that it typically ends in self-deletion. And by the looks of it, she's possibly on the edge, and that's why she won't go out in public. And if they say that, you know, she's sick and something's wrong, and that's why she's not going out, it's likely because, and if they say she passed away suddenly, it's because of self-deletion, because she can no longer pass for a woman, which has been her life goal for the past, when did they become, what's that, 2001 is when they had the first kid. So been pretending ever since then.
Mission accomplished. See you guys at the next bookstore. Until then, read.
Yes, sir. Mike, sir. Yeah. Do me a favor, like and subscribe to the YouTube page and to the Instagram page. We'll have other topics coming up. But yeah, in my opinion, this is why he is not showing up to the inauguration. It's nothing to do with the rest of the issues that they're laying out. There's tons of them. None of them hold water. None of them make sense. And think about it. This is how crazy the cover-up is for everything that the Obamas do. Remember, they just had their young black chef. He just died at their property and no one's even talking about it. This is in August of 2023. Just died. Drowned a man that's over 6 foot. They're drowned in less than 5 feet of water magically. No witnesses, no nothing. Lots of stuff is being covered up because if the agenda is to get your children to accept this ideology, then they're also trying to get your children to self-delete. That cuts their efforts in half because that means they don't have to go through all the efforts of deleting your kid themselves. They'll get you to do it for them. People don't understand Agenda 2030 is right around the corner and everything's happening. They're pushing you into 15-minute cities. They're burning you out of the rural areas. And the depopulation agenda is real. The depopulation agenda, if you watch my video the other day, it's been directed specifically towards his demographic, his background, blacks in America or in the Western world. You're not allowed to make music that promotes marriage or having children and families. Everything is degeneracy, murder, violence, or transitioning, because the one thing they all have in common is they all equal death. And they're trying to get rid of them. And this person was a willing participant. They knew the agenda. They signed up for it. They went along with it. So I have zero sympathy for Michelle or Mike or whatever you want to call them. So we'll go to the next topic. Stop the stream and we'll be back in about 10 minutes after lunch. Thank you.
I've been looking for an apartment, but I have horrible credit. Cosigning.com helps you get a cosigner that helps you out to get your dream apartment. Don't let your horrible credit get you down. Cosigning.com has changed the game. I got a cosigner quick and easy. I couldn't have asked for a better service.